Welcome back, dear viewers, and on this beautiful evening we're joined by Fatma Ashkanani, the head of a clinical psychology unit in Child Protection Office at the Ministry of Health. Good evening to you, Fatma.
Good evening, and thank you for having me here.
It's a pleasure to have you here on Hala, Kuwait, to know all about child protection and especially about the Ministry of Health's procedures.
It's great to be here, and I hope everyone will benefit from our interview today.
Hopefully. So would you please tell us more about your role as a psychological clinical unit in the office?
Okay. So our role as a clinical psychologist in Child Protection Office is to provide our services to any child that lives in Kuwait below the age of 18. We receive our cases through our child helpline, that is 147. And also through other legal authorities. After that, we assess the child and the environment surround them. During assessment, if we notice any signs of abuse, trauma, or mood disturbances, we provide therapeutic interventions that is suitable for the child, and also guidance and support for the family as well, and of course working closely with the multidisciplinary team at Child Protection Office, we ensure the child's safety and emotional well-being.
All right, that's pretty great to know actually that you are helping the child and his family too.
Yeah, exactly.
So does the child actually get, for example, do you get cases from the school issues, or mainly it's from the family or the parental house?
Actually, our child helpline, as I mentioned, everyone can call child helpline, whether I was a child myself or for me as a parent, or I'm a witness. I witness a child being suspectly abused, or any school, anyone at school can report, and also around the hospitals.
All right, so the Child Protection Office, we want to know what kind of cases you deal with, and for an example.
We deal with all types of child maltreatment, including physical abuse, sexual abuse, emotional or psychological abuse, neglect, cyber exploitation, and any situation where a child's safety may be at risk.
Okay, and what does make the family more of a challenging, or some kind of concerns in them approaching the Child Protection Office?
The most common concerns, I would say, family conflict, parenting, harsh parenting practices, also emotional neglect, and difficulties following separation or divorce between parents.
All right, so Fatma Ashkanani, when we talk about conflict, do we mean, for example, the family taking away the iPad, or is it more of a heavier conflict that's happening between the parent and the child?
So actually, family conflict by definition refers to recurring arguments, insults, threats, or let's say in general unhealthy communication pattern that happens between family members. And to give you an example of cases that we have worked with in Child Protection Office, when a parent drag their children into legal procedures that will affect their mental health later on, or when a parent forces their child to pick a side against the other, which could be very stressful for the child.
All right, and as you mentioned, this really gets deeper, as you mentioned,
Exactly.
Legal conflicts
Deeper and a bit ugly, unfortunately.
All right, all right. So what kind of matters can you go in specific, for example?
As I mentioned before, that during a separation or during a divorce, parents go through, I know they go through difficult times, but sometimes they force their child to pick me against the other side, which will be very stressful and very overwhelming for the child, because it's against his nature to pick my mom instead of my dad, because every child, even in separation, it's his right to have a healthy relationship with both of his parents.
All right, so going back to the start, Fatma Ashkanani, and you mentioned that people can call you, the Child Protection Office. So once you receive a call to your office, do you analyze the case before calling them in?
Yes, actually, the child protection hotline, the child helpline 147, our agent are actually clinical psychologists and social worker. They are our heroes, and I want to salute them. Actually, when they receive a call, they make their own assessment, and according to their assessment, they transfer the cases, whether they need like the whole multidisciplinary team, a whole assessment, or they just basically need a psychological assessment, or sometimes they need support and from the other legal authorities that we work on with the Child Protection Office.
All right, that's really great to know, and I'm also saluting all your colleagues at the Child Protection Office. I'm sure everybody also at the Ministry of Health are doing a very great job. So also Fatma Ashkanani, we want to know about the sensitivity of the children towards these conflicts, and especially from the ages, as you mentioned, the young children and also teenagers, right?
Children and adolescents both are effectively. Before I answer that question, I want to say that a child's home should be a safe haven, a place where a child feel loved, supported, and secure. So when a child is frequently exposed to family conflict, this will disrupt his sense of safety and security. So the child may become fearful, worried, anxious, and to give you a clear answer to your question, children are highly sensitive to emotional climate at their home. And it also affects their emotional well-being.
So Fatma, we want to talk more about the adolescent children, as you mentioned, that they are from 12 to 17.
Yes.
And so we want to know more about the conflicts that they have and how does it differ from the children's side.
As I mentioned before, children and adolescents both are affected from family conflict, but for adolescents the impact is a bit different. Maybe we'll see it in behavioral problems when the environment of the adolescents is stressful, there is ongoing conflict between their parents, maybe he witnessed physical aggression and things like that. We'll see maybe the adolescents tends to run from the house or get into fights, or maybe we'll see aggression signs. It's more like a behavioral problems on the adolescents.
All right. And what kind of psychological effects do we see arise from these adolescent children?
Okay, so this is the sad part. Actually, children and adolescents who are exposed to family conflict may struggle with sadness, with fear, with depression, anxiety, difficulties concentrating, also sleep problems, low self-esteem, and all of that is affecting their mental health overall.
All right. And these adolescent children, when they contact the Child Protection Office, do they get some solutions over the phone, or you just tell them to come to the office?
That's a good question. It depends on the severity of the case. If I'm a child or I'm an adolescent and I called 147, I want to reach out, I need help, I explain my situation. According to the severity of the case, we respond. So if the case is severity, if the child has an intention to hurt himself or hurt the other, the response is immediately. If the child needs, like he's suffering from like sleep difficulties or nightmares per se, then we're gonna make a consultation maybe over the phone, or make an appointment with a clinical psychologist that he can sit down and express and explain what's happening to him.
All right, that's some great options there from you, Fatma. And I'm sure, dear viewers, you're all enjoying our show here with Fatma Ashkanani, talking all about the Child Protection Office. So if you're an adolescent, you don't run, and you can reach the Child Protection Office and seek them anytime. But dear viewers, we shall take this short break with this next report. Stay tuned and we shall be back. And we are back, dear viewers, on this beautiful evening with our guest Fatma Ashkanani, Head of Clinical Psychology Unit in Child Protection's Office at the Ministry of Health. So Fatma, we want to continue talking more about conflicts that arise between the family and their children. And how does this affect their performance or endurance during their academic careers?
Okay, so when the nervous system under chronic stress because of the child being exposed repeatedly to family conflict, causing increased level in stress hormones such as cortisol, adrenaline, all of that will affect the learning process. It will affect the information, the memory, the motivation, information retrieving, and problem solving, and his emotional or her emotional regulation. And all of that eventually will affect the child's school academic performance and also school attendance.
All right, so when you notice this thing that arises during their academic careers, how do you approach them? Do you tell them just come to the office, or they can call you at 147 and ask for help?
Actually, even the teachers or the psychologist or the social worker at school, if they notice any school performance changes at the students, they do call us 147 to ask for help, or sometimes, because we know school academic changes, it could be related to many factors, not mainly family conflict, but anyone, if the child or the parent or the school teachers can reach out to Child Helpline 147 and explain the situation and ask for help, they can direct them to the right place.
Yes, especially it is the right place, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And these students, as you mentioned, not getting conflicts from the family or from the teachers, maybe from their friends too.
Exactly, exactly. Like bullying, we know the issues that happen in school, like bullying, and maybe other things that happening at home.
All right. So Fatma Ashkanani, also want to ask you more about what can these beautiful parents do to protect their children during a disagreement arising.
Okay, so my first advice would be to ensure to your child that he is safe, he is secured. Let him know that what's happening is not his fault or not their responsibility, because sometimes child tends to blame themselves for what's happening. And also listen to him, let him express his feeling, his emotions, his worries, and also try not to expose him to physical aggression or threats or insults between the parents. And please, parents, do not put your child in the middle of a conflict. It's very stressful, it's very overwhelming on the child mental state. And try to model a healthy way when dealing with conflict.
Yes, and especially during, if the child is there during a disagreement between the parents, it really affects him, right?
Yeah, exactly. Very deep.
Okay, so what should also parents do in order to protect the child? Should they tell him to go to his room and then start arguing between each other?
Try as much as they can. If the family conflict is happening more frequent, it's more intense, the parents can reach out to mental health professionals. They can call us. Again, I'm mentioning the Child Helpline 147. They can call the Child Helpline and ask for help and guidance. We offer family counseling that will be beneficial for the parents and also the children as well.
All right, so when these parents again go into a conflict and their children are affected and they do not want to seek professional help, what would you advise them?
They do not want to seek professional help. There are many things for a child to help him express his worries. At least try to listen to them, as I mentioned before, ensure them, and don't let them feel that they are guilty, they are responsible, and don't pressure them and put them in a stressful situation. Don't make a situation worse.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, dear parents, you've heard it from Fatma Ashkanani. Please take it into consideration that your children are beautiful and they are always there with you, and you affect their galaxy as much as you can with your agreements. Try to make it more positive. So when should a parent, Fatma Ashkanani, seek professional help when it gets really deep, or when exactly?
For the children. Okay, for me as a parent, when I notice any changes on my child without a reasonable explanation, like let's say recently my child is having more frequent nightmares, he's having difficulty sleeping, or my child is socially withdrawn recently, he stays in his room all day, he doesn't want to go out, he doesn't want to eat outside of his room, he doesn't want to go outside the house, outside the room. This is a concerning sign. When you see that kind of signs on your child, you can seek professional help. They can see what's going on, what's the situation, and maybe try to explain and resolve that situation.
All right. I'm sure I want to ask you a personal question about children and how should a parent deal with this kind of conflict. For example, if a child or my child is always on the internet and he doesn't want to get off, what should I tell him or advise him?
You could advise them. For you as a parent, I would say routine, routine, routine. Try to set a routine. There is a time for your playtime. If you want to spend a time on your iPad, for me as a parent, I always should supervise the content that my child is watching or exposing to, and also set a certain time for his iPad time, and also try to engage him into physical activities, because it's very important for our children to engage in physical activities to improve their motor skills. And
it is actually important for them to pursue physical activity.
Yes.
So Fatma Ashkanani, when these conflicts arise, how can psychological intervention help these affected children?
Okay, so our psychological interventions, is to first to make the child feel that he can express his emotions more freely, and also to improve his adapting coping skills, build resilience, improve his problem solving, and to regulate his emotions. These skills are very crucial for a child later on in life when dealing with any difficult situation that he may face in the future.
All right, and talking more about these difficult situations happening between the children and their families. So I want to know more about the Child Protection's Office, and we want to take it step by step. After the calling of 147 and the severe cases told to your customer service, and you ask these families and their children to come to your office.
Yes.
What are the steps taken and services given to these families?
Okay. First, as I mentioned, we provide the psychological assessment. During the assessment, we saw signs of, let's say, trauma, abuse, or anything like that. We provide therapeutic interventions that is suitable for each child according to their case. And also, we provide family counseling, family guidance to the parents, and of course, by working with the multidisciplinary team, we support the whole family.
All right, and how long does this take, Fatma?
Actually, regarding the psychological assessment, it's very it depends from it depends on the severity of the case, from 48 hours maximum 14 days.
Wow,
yeah.
Up to 14 days.
Yes, because actually we're dealing with the legal authorities, and sometimes because of the legal procedures we need to be right on time.
All right, all right. As you said, these...
Of course, without pressuring the child, that's very important.
All right, all right. And at the office, do you separate the family services from the children's services, like consultations for the parents separately from the children?
Actually, it's a holistic approach. Actually, we serve the family as whole. Of course, we give the child his privacy. We set a meeting with him privately without his parents. But then we sit with the family, try to take more history from the family, the developmental stages of the child, and every detail related to the environment.
All right, and Fatma Ashkanani, mashallah, you're the head of the psychological department at the Child Protection Office. How many staff members do you have, and do you get a lot of phone calls? Do you get a lot of visitors?
You'll be surprised if I tell you the number. Our services is huge, but the staff number is very limited. But the staff members in the clinical psychology unit is very professional and very efficient and up to date with every therapeutic or any therapeutic interventions and things like that, and we try our best to serve the child in the best way possible.
All right. So Fatma Ashkanani, we want to know from you and hear for our dear viewers that are watching us. I'm sure there are beautiful parents and also their families gathering at the TV, and you want to leave a message for these people. What would it be?
Okay. My message would be that every child deserves to live in a place where he feels loved, supported, safe and secure. Please do not expose your child to harmful conflict. Protecting your child from harmful conflicts will be a good investment in your child's mental health in the future and his emotional well-being.
All right, beautiful message from you, Fatma, and well spoken, I'm sure, to our beautiful parents watching us here. So I'd love to really thank you for joining us on Hala Kuwait today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So dear viewers, let's all thank the coming of Fatma Ashkanani, Head of Clinical Psychology Unit in Child Protection Office at the Ministry of Health, for joining us here on Hala Kuwait. And furthermore, dear viewers, we have this next insightful report for your viewing experience, so stay tuned.